Hello everyone, it's Angie here at Beads and Plenty More. Today I thought I'd show you how to do these leather and gemstone earrings. So I've got this set up. I'll post a full supply list at the end of the video, so if anybody needs a supply list to come shopping, I'll post it there. But what I've got is I've got 1.5 millimeter leather, and I've got two pieces cut at 15 centimeters, which is more than I'm going to need for both lengths because the inside is quite a bit smaller than the outside, but it's nice to be able to work with the longer length because you don't want your stitches coming off the end. And then I've got 6-pound fire line, and I've got 75 centimeters of it here. And what I've done is I've tied it around the two right at the end here. And I'm going to start putting some beads in. So these are 3 millimeter hematite beads. And what I'm doing is I'm picking one up on the needle. I'm just going to pop it in between the two pieces of leather and come back the other way on it. So just to clarify what I was doing there, I'll do it on the next one here. I'm going to take the bead, I'm going to come behind both pieces of leather so the bead sits in the middle, pull the extra thread up, and then I'm going to come back coming the other direction. So I'm coming back down on top of both pieces of leather, but through the bead. So we're going to do that for 6 of these beads. So most times you want your tension fairly tight, and you do want it reasonably tight here. But you may notice that I'm not stitching back through my beads a second time in any way, shape, or form. I'm just going the one time through them. And we'll talk about why I'm doing that as I get further along. So keeping the leather tight to the edges of the bead, but I'm only going through the bead up and down once. Okay, so I've got my 6 on. Then I'm going to switch over and I'm going to put a 4 millimeter bead in. So I happen to have these opalite ones here. Now this is where you can start to actually start shaping the earring. So I'm going to flare out a little bit each time I stitch up, because this is my inside. So this is right in here. And by flaring my outside edge out, I'll start to get the curve. So this time I'm going to pick up 2 of these 3 millimeter ones. And again, we'll flare it out just a little bit. This time I'm going to pick up a combination, so I've got 1 of each. And I'm going to do that for the next 5 stitches here, or 4 stitches, because I've already got 1 on there. 5 total. So this actually came about because I was teaching a class on how to do a bracelet of a similar sort. And we started talking about whether or not you could make earrings. So this is my attempt at earrings. Anybody that's taken our leather and gemstone class probably will recognize what I'm doing here in the stitching and so on. And this is just a variation of what we've done in that class. So one thing I did find is it's a little harder on this side to get it to curve. And that's where you can just tug the leather a little bit on the inside. And that's why I was only stitching through them once, because that gives you the ability to be able to shift your stitches a little bit to get your curve. I'll shift that outside over, because as much as possible, you want to shape it as you go. So you have to kind of see where you're going with it. So I'm back to my 2 3mm ones. And we'll just put the 1 4mm by itself. And now all I have left to do is 6 of the little 3mm ones down the side. So you might see me using the needle to prop my bead up. That's one trick to getting it to your bead in place, because as soon as you take it off the needle, it becomes floppy again, and it's a little harder to get it to sit in position. So I'm setting it in position with the needle still in it, and then I can use my thumb and my finger to hold it in place as I create my stitch. So there's the 6th one on. So now I can continue to shape a little bit more if I need to. I think we should be pretty good with that. It does have a little bit of a curve in it. So at this point, I need to just end my thread off. So I'm just going to tie a slip knot here. That's if I can get my cord to cooperate with me here. I'll tie a couple of those. So around the cord and through the loop. I can just take the scissors and trim off any extra. Okay. So now I've got these cord ends, and I've also got some glue. So this is GS Hypo Cement, and I'm just gonna glue right where the 6-pound fire line ends. before putting these ends on. So these, if I just lay my cording in there, if I grab a pair of needle nose pliers, these are ends you want to take your time a little bit bending these over because you want to get a good solid look to them. So I'm bending the one side first, and then I'm going to bring the other side over on top, and same deal on the other side. Another thing you probably want to pay attention to is you want to have your fold overs end up on the back side. So when you do the second one, make sure that you're still facing the same direction. So there we go. And then I'm going to bring these together with a little jump ring. So I've got two here. So this happens to be a 4mm jump ring. I did use a 5mm in the other pair here, and it works just fine as well. Just make sure I get that on the right way. And I'll come in, close that one up. Now, if I put the shepherd hook on with just the one jump ring, it's going to hang the wrong direction. So I need the second jump ring to get the shepherd hook to hang the right way. So then I need to figure out that's the front side. Hook the shepherd hook so that hangs front. And there you go, there's your other earring. So there's a match set to those ones. And here's the original turquoise and gold hematite. These are actually electroplated hematite. So I hope you enjoyed that. Have a good day.